Greetings, everyone! It's me, Fox Ronald 1988. And I know this ain't a couple things rant, but it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. Remember on my 4 fandoms introduction, I talked about how I was going to talk about some fan bases? Well, I decided just to talk about the movie series of these fan bases and how the fan bases interact with them. They're not part of the 4 fandoms rant, but I'll get to them right now anyway. I am going to talk about Avatar today, and no, not Nickelodeon's Avatar The Last Airbender, cool as it is. I'll save that for another time. But right now, there's another Avatar I want to talk about, which I'll get to in just a little bit. First up, the Harry Potter movie series. Yep, I'm talking about the Harry Potter movie series. Just like I'm going to be talking about some other movie series, and the fan base that goes with them. Well, to simply put Harry Potter in basic terms, it's a book series written by J.K. Rowling, who was very poor at one time when she was a single mom. I don't know if she still is now. Some say she's a Christian, but I don't know if she is. I heard rumors that she is, so I don't know. She basically wasn't doing very good, and she wrote on a train ride one day a book, a manuscript, if you will, about a young boy wizard who was adopted by his very mean relatives or something like that, and he grew up and got an invitation to Hogwarts School of Magic or whatever, and well, there you go. The story goes on for him to be the chosen one. Anyway, now I'm going to talk about the actual fan base and the movie. Well, the books apparently did very good. So good that, remember when Pokemon was very popular on Game Boy? Well, Harry Potter was almost the equivalent of it. When the books first came out, a lot of parents were skeptical. Their kids were reading about, well, a boy who was a hero wizard, and the story pretty much revolved around witchcraft, which got a lot of parents worried. I mean, they weren't prudes or anything, they just didn't want their kids practicing witchcraft, and that's very understandable. Anyway, whenever the movies came along, oh my gosh. Once the movies started coming out, then I heard about the books, which apparently I ignored. And though the scenery looked nice and the theme music, you know what I'm talking about, the theme music was good, I was told I shouldn't see it even though I wanted to. I did a little more research on it and decided not to on my own choosing. My parents didn't make me not see it, I chose it on my own. Though I hear it has a very interesting story, I don't think I'll be watching it anytime soon. I know the movies aren't as good as the books, but the books definitely sell like wildfire, and I don't know, because of the CGI effects, you know, the movies are freakishly popular, especially in Japan. Oh yeah, totally true. And whenever the final book came out, Deathly Hallows, a lot of people were reading it online and spoiling it for those who were waiting in line to get the book. Trust me, there's plenty of YouTube videos of it. And now the final movie of Deathly Hallows is going to be split into 2 parts, cause, well, the book was that big. Some people think that's the end of Harry Potter, but I heard about the ending, and odds are J.K. Rowling might just make a book or 2 off of that. And there's another interesting fact about Harry Potter you probably didn't know. Remember when I talked about yaoi fangirls in my anime rant? Well, I heard rumor that the reason she said 2 of the characters in the series were gay was simply because they were pushing her to say they were. Yaoi fangirls. You think you have power, but you don't. There's a good and bad to the Harry Potter series. 1, it got kids to read. 2, it definitely got them uninterested in the Bible, but that's a long time ago. 'cause a lot of those same kids are, they still read the books, but some of them still read the Bible more nowadays, and even some kids nowadays, like some people I know, may read the books and watch the movie, but they put God first and foremost, so God bless them. Now for Twilight. I know what you're thinking. You think I'm just going to bash the series for nothing. Well, no, I'm not going to completely do what you think I'm going to do. Okay, for those of you the very few of you who don't know, Twilight is a book series I think started in the early 2000s and for some odd reason just got popular a few years ago. And trust me, when I say it got popular, it got popular. But why? Was it the pardon me. Was it the story that the lady said she dreamt up in a dream and awoke and was all like, I'm going to turn this stuff into books? No, the movies were the ones that were really doing good, mainly because of the actors and actresses. Mainly because of the whole vampire legend is all about so-called romance, and some people say that this book series teaches don't have sex until you're married, which I don't know if that's true or not. If so, then good for them. Now, I don't know much about the story other than the fact there's vampires who sparkle in the sunlight, which is messed up. The werewolves aren't even werewolves, they're overgrown chihuahuas. And the parody movie Vampires Suck pretty much proves my point. Okay, I'm not saying it has a bad story. I'm sure from what I heard that the books were interesting and the movie has some cool effects. Even my aunt read the books on audio. Well, not read, but, she listened to them. But there's a few things about the Twilight fanbase I really don't like. Okay, I know for a fact Hot Topic is making a buttload of money off of the merchandise. And really, the only reason the movie's popular is because the actors are like, look at me, I'm hot. And I think I'm in an actual story, even though the book is better, but look at me and my poofy hair. One thing I don't like about the actual fan base is that they get violent if you don't like the books or movies. I mean, even if you're very polite about it. I've heard reports of people breaking each other's arms or biting each other with plastic fangs over this. This is ridiculous. Not even the otaku go that far, and they're otaku, man. I know there are good fans out there, and I'm sure the books and movies have their, good parts. But come on, people. You're now believing a fake myth about vampires. Granted, vampires are fake, but the original vampire legend, like about Count Dracula and the whole... okay, Count Dracula can beat a Twilight vampire because he doesn't just have speed and strength, but he also has powers that the Twilight vampires don't have. So, there. And at least the Wolfman and Count Dracula and, the whole legends or old movies or whatever, at least they got along. Anyway, sparkling? Sometimes that can seem cool, but seriously, read up on real vampires from the books. Twilight vampires are cool in their own way, but I still think they couldn't beat the originals because, hey, you don't mess with Dracula. Anyway, on to the next one. Alright, I don't have enough time to explain the story to James Cameron's Avatar or what came out about its existence or the history of it, so go to Wikipedia. And anyway, here's a few problems I actually have with the movie. When it first came out, people went in the theaters, and some people came out crying, from what I understand, having Avatar depression or whatever. Basically, they think the world is ugly and humanity's stupid, and we should be like the Na'vi in the movie, and be all like, Iwa, we serve Iwa, the deity of the planet, and like, totally diss our humanity and diss Earth altogether. How stupid is that? Okay, hippies, get one thing straight. You want to see the beautiful planet Earth in its true form? Watch a sunset. Go to the country. Watch the cherry blossoms fall out of the trees in Japan. Go to Ireland and look at the Celtic Highlands. Doi! And as for the whole hating humanity thing, humans may have been, portrayed as bad in the movie, but not all humans are bad. I'm surprised Cameron was all human-hating when humans were usually the heroes in his movie and fighting for good and right. Let's not forget that, hello, we have the power of the human spirit, we're saved by Christ, we kick aliens' butts in the movie, pardon my voice, and though the whole Ewok aspect. Hello, we have God. God is real, Ewok is not. Get used to that fact. Ewok didn't have a son to die for you, and Ewok, if you pay attention to the movie, is nothing more than a, a connection to the planet that isn't really spiritual at all. So, yeah, God is real, you just gotta have faith. Anyway, the movie does have a few good points, like it's beautifully cinematic, and even though the story's been told a buttload of times, it has some cool fight scenes, especially at the end. I mean, the guy in the movie, Papa Dragon, whew, he's like Master Chief from Halo without his armor. Just, older. And for those of you who cosplay as Na'vi, you're human, not Na'vi. Get used to your humanity. You can have fun, but still. I'll talk more about the Na'vi and cosplay later. Well, thanks for listening. God bless, Jesus loves, and fare thee well.